Joining us now is a guy who is going to go down as, the original capital of the United States of America.
Right.
Is a city in Pennsylvania called Philadelphia.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And if you know Philadelphia, you know it's a sports city. I mean, that's
big time.
They love their sports over there. Mm-hmm. This guy, from the way it looked like to me while watching the documentary, is the most well-liked guy in the history of sports, in the history of Philadelphia, for good reason. On the field, going to go down as the greatest of all time. If not one, then two. Who's doing the arguing? I'll say one. Somebody else might have other things. Brings a championship to Philadelphia. Gives one of the greatest Super Bowl parade speeches of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now he has the number one sports podcast on earth with his brother. Ladies and gentlemen, just an Ohio dog,
Right.
Jason Kelce.
Hell of an intro, Pat. I appreciate that.
Hey, I think this is your first time on the show, man. I'm jacked up. The boys are jacked up. We appreciate you making time. Jason, we do.
Yeah, I'm happy we finally got this together. Been a long time waiting for this one.
So I watched.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for joining us. I watched a documentary last night on Prime to prepare for this, and I was only going to watch 5 to 10 minutes or whatever. I was going to try to get to bed early. I am a girl dad now. Got a busy stuff. I'm trying to fall asleep. I was captivated by it, man. This was very, very well done. I assume you had some fears when you signed up for doing something like this, as intrusive as it was, and then once you saw the outcome of it, I assume you had to be happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we first signed up to do it, we were actually going to do it on transitioning out of the NFL was the idea. I didn't know what I was going to do after football. Still don't really know fully what I was going to do. And I think, as we kind of went through it, we felt like we had a story with last season alone. And we ended up getting NFL Films on board. A bunch of people fell into place where, it felt like there was a really, really good story as is with the family, with the fans, with my wife, my kid, like everything. So it all kind of fell in differently than we expected. But you're right. Yeah, I was nervous up until the premiere, the launch day. On some level, you're happy with it, and that's enough. But you're also still kind of, what are people going to think? We put ourselves out there. We try to be as real as possible, and we're definitely happy with the reception it's got.
Well, I want to let you know, I appreciate you doing it because I think you gave a glimpse at what it is like to be an NFL guy, even more to people that have fallen in love with the sport, fallen in love with the league, and only see you guys on game day. I mean, literally you with your ankle, playing with your kids, not being able to move. Like, people see that and they're like, okay, we appreciate what these guys are putting themselves through to entertain all of us. And the way you've maintained just so much energy and a positive attitude and loyalty, and your style of play is one where you got to be fast. I had no idea your ankle was as bad as it was last year in that documentary with how you played on the field. And you said, I'm full of a bunch of anti-inflammatories. I think that's why the end is near. Toradol is the greatest. Toradol is the
Vitamin T. You know that. Yeah. Can't beat that.
It is. Was that all season, though? Because I don't know if the doc covered all season. Your ankle seemed to be like very, very, very bad.
It was a grade 2, maybe like a grade 1+ high ankle, right? So luckily I've torn that ligament before. So when it tears for a second time, it doesn't really swell up as much. But it was bad during the week. On game day, as you know, you get it to where it needs to be. Luckily, I'm not a receiver or running back, have to do all this cutting. I can kind of tape that thing up there pretty rock solid and just kind of,
No, we don't believe that. You're running like a running back every single play. That's why the Eagles offense is what it is. So I just want to let you know, very impressed with your toughness and very appreciative of everything. I think we just lost power.
Yes, we did.
But you're still on.
Clock went out as well for a second.
That's good. Who knows if we're out there or not? Did you see that?
I did.
You brought the electricity down over here with how great you are.
Whoa.
So let's talk about one last thing from the documentary. Your wife and you telling your story of how you guys come together, obviously, is awesome. Meeting on Tinder. Yeah, go ahead.
A tale as old as times.
It really is. But I want to let you know this, and I assume you've heard this because of her appearance on New Heights and everything like that. But like my wife, massive fan of your wife. I think everybody that's ever played in the NFL, their significant others, massive fans of your wife. I think the world, big fans of your wife. Now, we are wondering if your wife is enjoying the celebrity status, is she going to take over the world? It feels like she is maybe one of the coolest humans walking this earth, and you, the same thing. We got a celebrity power couple between you two. Everybody's talking about your brother. Obviously, you are as well, but everybody's talking about you two. You and your wife are becoming a celebrity couple right now as we speak, I think, pal.
Yeah, I'm the Ian Rappaport, Travis Kelce right now. No, I think my wife is she's been in hiding for a long time. I think one of the best things about the documentary is that everybody got to see just everything she does, everything she goes through, and the tremendous person and wife that she is. And I don't think I don't know if she's happy or upset about it. She's not the type of person that likes the spotlight. She's not the type of person that seeks that out. But I think that it's awesome the amount of reception she's gotten and the amount of other wives, the people, moms out there, wives out there that have been able to, I don't know, assimilate, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, you get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
relate.
I think it's relate. There we go.
Yeah.
Relate with her. And I think a lot of people saw that. So.
Okay, So let's talk about this. You're going to the Hall of Fame, and every Hall of Fame speech involves a guy saying to their wife, I wasn't around enough, I do apologize. To their kids, I wasn't around enough, I do apologize. It feels like watching you at home, that's a massive deciding factor on how long you're going to play for alongside your body as well. You were talking about retiring going into last year with how it went and reception and how you played. You're back again. Is that just going to be an every year thing that you're going to have to think about, or how are you going to process that?
Yeah, I'm going to take it one at a time. One at a time, just, feel where we're at physically, mentally, emotionally, and whether you can make that type of commitment, because it does take away from your family, especially when you take in all the other things that I'm doing off the field. And being around family, as you just said, Pat, there's so many of our colleagues, coaches, players, that weren't around their families or weren't able to compete and succeed at the highest level. And that happens, I'd imagine, in anything, not just football, right? And you want to be the best at anything in the world. It takes time and commitment. And, I think that balance of being there for my family, being there for the girls and my wife is the number one most important thing to me. And as long as I still feel like I can do that while also selfishly a little bit striving to compete and be the best in the world at something, I'm going to try and do that. But, once you get married, once you have kids, all that other stuff takes a big time second seat, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. And watching you and your kids was cool. I just had my first daughter, so watching you interact, and you were obviously incredibly sore. You turned a corner in the kitchen, I think, and started yelling at one of your daughters. I was like, this guy loves being a dad, man. Like, I can't wait to do that. I was enjoying it. But let's talk about on the football field. AQ Shipley, who's a big fan of yours, has a question for you, Jason.
Hey, Q, what up?
What's up, Jason? Good to see you. You obviously know the respect I have for you, but one of the questions, you got Tampa Bay this week. You got Vita Vea.
Yeah.
We all know about Vita Vea. He's an absolute monster. You've played against him before. You've played against the Aaron Donald types. Let's go into your mind a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about how does your mindset and technique change from week to week when you're going against an Aaron Donald body type and then a Vita Vea body type?
Well, I was actually hoping you'd give me some technique tips, seeing as you were teammates with the guy. There's not much you can do for Vita, but I think you're always assessing what type of player the guy is. What are his strengths? What are his skill sets? What moves does he like to do? Every technique that offensive lineman has kind of has a weakness, has a weak spot. So, when you're playing a player, you're trying to factor in, okay, is this a power guy? If he's power, I can go for leverage right away, try and stop his momentum, get him situated at the line of scrimmage. Maybe that'll negate some of that. If it's a speed guy, a finesse guy, he's trying to work edges, I can sit back a little bit more, get ready to move my feet and stay in front of them and maybe go with a little bit wider hands. The guys that are tricky, unfortunately, are the guys that have both of those. And Vita is certainly, although he's 350 plus, he's got plenty of quickness and agility at the same time, which is why he's such a perennial, player that he is. It's going to be a match back and forth all game, I'm sure. He's one of the guys that you look forward to going to because it's going to be a test. I think you kind of go into it getting ready to see how the game unfolds, go into it with a strategy and then see how it's playing out.
The guys tell you how much they enjoy your podcast whenever you're playing against them, like Vita Vea and you, and he's like, hey, it was good podcast. Is that happening?
Dude, they do. It is weird. It is weird in the middle of a game. Other guys bringing up the podcast. Like Judon didn't really mention it during the game, but immediately following the last play was right on top of it. I mean, it's been cool to see the respect and the amount of other guys across the league that enjoy the clips and watching the show for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yep. It's an incredible. And your show is like in the documentary, you show you filming the first one, and at the end, which I appreciated, you said, for those that watch this whole thing, like, we're sorry, because we feel that way about this show still to this day. But you said we're going to get better at this. And I want to let you know, I don't know if you got better, if you just did the same thing for the amount of stuff. You guys got like the greatest show going. And I don't think you expected that. Truly. I don't think you genuinely thought that was going to be the case after watching it all unfold behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, we struck lightning in a bottle a little bit. You know, both of our teams go to the Super Bowl in year one. That definitely helps the viewership out. But, you know, I think we didn't know what to expect. We knew that we were getting involved with a company and production team that was really savvy with social media and making these clips and everything to get it, that it was going to get seen. We didn't know if we were going to be any good at it. We definitely didn't think we were any good at it. Still don't know if we're good at it, but people seem to like it.
Yeah, you are good. You are. You're great. You're great. Not just good. It's great.
But, you know, I think, you know, we've been talking about that for a number of years, starting a show or starting a podcast, and you know, seeing guys like you, seeing Bussin, seeing a lot of players that went on to start their own thing in the media world and have so much success, kind of gave us the, you know, hey man, let's just freaking do this, man. Let's I feel like it's gonna be fun. If it's successful, you know, that's great. If it's not successful, hey, we're just chopping it up anyway. So I think I mean, dude, seeing the success that you guys have had, a lot of the former players, current players doing it, it's been awesome, man, and it's only going to keep happening. So it's great.
Yeah, it is.
Way to pave the way, Pat.
No, shut up.
I'm serious, man.
Stop, Jason. Stop. I don't need to hear that.
It's hard to believe. When was the last time we actually ran into each other? Was it at the Pro Bowl in like Arizona or like? I don't know. We were chopping it up, and then
might have been the Super Bowl.
Every time we've been around each other, we have drank every single time.
Well, that's a common theme anywhere I'm at, but it's been remarkable seeing this, man. So well done, brother.
Well, I appreciate that. Very lucky for it. But I think like there's so many guys that are talented at it, and I think if we can be something that'll help people say like, yeah, if that show could do it, we can do it. I appreciate being that. I'm lucky to be that. But we're thankful that your show has come into the football world. It's been fantastic. Lightning in a bottle for sure, but also like you're like greatest center of all time. He's like greatest tight end of all time. That's also potential lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Like, there's just like so many things that kind of stack on top of each other. We're appreciative of you doing it. Let's go back to Philadelphia now. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Jason, last year we had Coach Sirianni on, and we mentioned you, and he kind of said, you know, it was when you didn't know if it, you know, taking it year by year. He basically said like, hey, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure he comes back. He said that however many kegs of beer he needed to get you, like he was going to make sure he did that to get it done. So I'm just curious, has he made good on that? And also, what evolution have you seen in him from that first press conference where everyone's kind of like, oh man, this guy certainly appears to be a doofus. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing until now, and he's one of the most respected coaches in the NFL.
You know, I think, first of all, he has made good. Each and every offseason so far, I've gotten a keg. And it's sat out back, and it's gotten plenty of use in those early months trying to decide. So I appreciate that from Coach Sirianni. But, you know, I think that first press conference, it's funny looking back, you know, when nobody really knew who Nick was or how he worked or how he operated, and, you know, got absolutely destroyed by the Philadelphia media, which that's really easy to do. I think
not just the Philadelphia media. Hey.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's funny because the way he did that press conference kind of epitomizes a little bit how he is as a coach. And dude, he's just always going, always where it's almost like his mouth can't catch up to like where his brain is going in the conversation a little bit. And you see that a lot, I guess, when guys are doing their first press conference for sure. But man, we have some of the most purposeful, meaningful team meetings. He's always never missing a point to make a coaching point, whether it's about game management, whether it's about plays we're running. Like he says it so much that he can ask Fletcher Cox sometimes what play you think we're running, and Fletch knows. You know what I mean? It's this constant. He just loves coaching ball. He's a football guy. He loves being around the team. He loves being in the position he's in, and it comes through and comes across in everything he does. And I'm really happy for the amount of success we've had so far with him, and just that everybody's gotten to witness kind of who he is firsthand.
Now, with that being said, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Jason, obviously now that you guys went to the Super Bowl last year, the expectations in Philly are a little different. I think we can all, acknowledge the fact that the Philadelphia 76ers have had a lot of expectations, and it hasn't gone exactly perfect, and the fans don't react exactly perfect. And in your first home game last week, end of the first quarter, you're up 3-0. Start to hear some boos. How has that been in Philly now that you guys are every single year, hey, Super Bowl or bust? And at some points on the bench, you're like, all right, guys, it's like, Jesus Christ, we're winning this game. Can we just relax in the stands a little bit or what?
I mean, I'm used to it. I've been in Philly this is my 13th season. I remember the first home game back after 2017 year when we won the Super Bowl, getting booed that first home game. I mean, the Philadelphia fans and media are not going to sugarcoat anything. They're going to tell you how you feel. If you're not performing well, if you're not doing things up to the standard that we all hold ourselves to, you're going to be let known of that very vibrantly. So, it's a diehard blue collar sports town that demands excellence and perfection from its sports teams. It demands hard work. It demands energy. It demands a certain mentality. And, the expectations are whatever. I try to avoid that. Nick preaches that, we're climbing a mountain. We're starting at the bottom of it. Every day you got to earn it. Every practice you got to earn it. You come out, and right now we have not performed up to our expectations through the first 2 weeks, and obviously not the fans' expectations through the first 2 weeks. So, it's something that we're continually going to try and improve on and get back to playing at the level we know we can play. We got the horses to do it. We got the guys to do it. In our mind, it's only a matter of time before it starts clicking again, the way it has in the past. I think we got better week 1 to week 2, especially offensively. So, I look forward to getting back in there tomorrow and getting ready for this Monday game.
Hey, 13 years in Philly, 13 years in the NFL at a very high level. Like, what is it about some teams that just like kind of got to refine it? Because we look at your pieces, we're like, all right, everybody's back seemingly, so they should just pick up right where they were last year. What do you think about that kind of take, and why is it not like that?
Well, no year is going to be the same. Defenses have adjusted. All the teams that were playing have made acquisitions, coaching changes. They've changed their philosophy slightly. They maybe greatly. Defenses are going to be different this year. Offenses are going to be different. This is the way the league works. It's constantly evolving. There's so many factors that take place that are necessary to go to a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl, right? And like, you got to be healthy. You got to have great players offensively and defensively across the board. You have to have a great quarterback. You have to have coaches that are ahead of the game a little bit. Yeah. I mean, there's all these things that are necessary for you to be the best in the world. It's not just any one thing. And, we have all of these pieces. I firmly believe that, but getting them all gelling the way they were last year at the end of the year, that takes some time, and that takes and it's going to continue to be a process throughout the year. Teams that are doing great right now, they're going to have to keep staying on top of it to be where they want to be at the end of the year, just like we got to be where we want to be at the end of the year. So I think there's so many different things that need to happen for you to reach your full potential as a team and as a unit. And we're starting over at square one. Doesn't matter who's coming back. Doesn't matter what coaches are here, what players are here, who's leading the front office. It always starts over.
Hey, listening to your press conferences throughout the year last year, you sound like this grumpy old man,
Yeah.
Like, it was like these press conferences they're in the middle. They're like intermittently placed through the dock. And at the beginning, he's just like not playing great. And like, oh, we might be. I don't know. Like, just get. But I think those types of situations are why you are beloved by the city of Philadelphia so much. I don't think I fully comprehended that. I assumed that a human like you would be loved in any city that you play at because you're hardworking, hilarious, drink beers, greatest at your position. So I assume you'd be loved anywhere. But it feels like you and Philadelphia are like a perfect marriage. Obviously, you feel that way. And when did it start being like that?
When I got drafted to Philadelphia, my agent, Jason Bernstein, immediately said, you're going to fit in fucking great here, man. You're going to love Philadelphia. Sorry, I know if I'm
Your
allowed
language is terrible.
Jeez.
But that wasn't you. That was him. That was Bernstein.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's right.
So it wasn't me.
This is a verbatim.
Yeah, what do you want? We're journalists. Sorry.
But, being from Cleveland, right? Being from a steel town, Pittsburgh, being from a industrial blue collar area, I think there's a lot of similarities from where I come from and what I enjoyed out of the athletes that I rooted for growing up and what I held as to, the qualities and things that rang true to me, I think ring true in Philadelphia. I think the things that my father instilled in me, hard work, aggression, wear your heart on your sleeve, all of these things translate to the city of Philadelphia, just like they translate to a lot of these blue collar cities that were the backbone of this country for a long time.
Isn't it awesome too? Your brother is like a blue collar dude who just so happens to have ridiculous fashion.
Yeah, he's got both. Trav is quite the chameleon, man. He can fit in with any crowd, man.
And I think that's why the New Heights podcast is amazing. I think you guys need to keep going, and we can't wait to watch you play center for the Philadelphia Eagles for another 10 years.
Hell yeah.
10 more kegs. You're the man. Hey, have a great day. We appreciate you taking some time here.
Pat, man, it's been an honor. Anytime you need me, man, I'd be happy to come on. I appreciate it. Take care, brother.
Hey, this was it. We found a picture, by the way. AQ found us. AQ's at 320 there.
Yeah! Here we go.
Yeah, you and AQ play the same position there.
I know.
Not anymore.
Now it's reversed now. now AQ's all skinny up, man. He looks good.
What do you weigh,
Look at
Jason?
that.
What do you weigh?
About 300 right now. I'm heavier than I've been in the past, yeah. As I get older, it gets easier to hold the weight on. But in that picture, I think that was like right end of the Chip Kelly era. I was probably 275. I'm not lying.
Damn.
I might be 325.
Yeah. AQ was not in the Chip Kelly era. No, he was not there. All right. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Future Hall of Famer, GOAT, host of New Heights podcast, and also the subject of the greatest doc I've seen in some time on Prime, Kelce. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Kelce. He swore on our show, but it wasn't him. It was his agent.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what happens
Bernstein.
to you sometimes too.
Yeah. I quote coaches.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
What are you going to do?
Coaches and agents, they have potty mouth.
But at the beginning of the show, I mean, it's very clear to say, hey, that's how adults talk.
Exactly.
Speaking of adults talking, let's go to Kyle Shanahan chit-chatting about Thursday Night Football as a whole. And thank you to Jason, by the way.
Thank you, Jason.
Everything I said about him in there is true.
Yes.
I genuinely love that dude. I love his family. I appreciate the fact that New Heights podcast has had the success that it's had because it makes me laugh. I watch clips of it. I enjoy it. And I've known them for a long time. Me and Travis have known each other a long time. Jason and I have known each other a while. And seeing what they have done, not only because they're electrifying and blue-collar folks, which I think we are immediately
Good shout out
attracted to,
there,
which
yeah.
is that type of thing. But, greatest tight end of all time.
Yeah.
Greatest center of all. Can I say he's the greatest center of all time, AQ?
He's in that conversation.
Who else would be in there?
I mean, there's so many guys from
AQ
the old
Shipley.
days. I mean, you could throw Pouncey in that conversation, right?
Bert?
Like he had a great career. I mean, it's Mike Webster.
Rest in peace.
Keep going. Greg, keep going.
Steelers had some guys. Dermontti
Dermontti
Dawson.
Dawson.
Dirt? Yeah. You see how I keep using this microphone, too?
Yeah, it's not plugged in. Just a gimmick. But
Pretty good.
He's
But he's in the conversation, for sure.
yeah, there's going to be people that are going to argue, I guess, because their favorite center is doing it or whatever.
Yeah.
But, he's the guy, right? He does everything. Power, he can pull better than most people have. He can pull better than most tackles, right? In that,
He's super athletic. He's powerful. When you watch him play, I mean, even when he was 275, watch the leg drive in the run game. It's incredible. He's so consistent, and the big thing we talk about is being available. I mean, the guy's always.
and we didn't even talk about the tush push at all. 92% success. That's right, literally over his ass.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is him having to do. This year, did you see they did a little different this year?
Yeah.
He did.
He delayed. So last year, the big thing was he's going to get underneath everybody because of how athletic he is. This year, he's letting them try to get under, and then he is just moving them like this. I was like, oh, that's like You know, they say this tush push is rugby and amateur and bush league and everything like that. It's like, actually, it seems like they have a couple different
Mix it up.
They have a couple different ways to go about doing it. There's levels to this shit whenever it comes to that. And that's all because Jason Kelce, I assume. The reason why they're doing that is because he has the ability to do something better than every other center has ever been able to do in the past.
He's incredible at that, and that whole group has been incredible. I mean, that group's been together for a while. The O-line coach has been there, and the stability there has been incredible. And when you get that wedge, everybody goes towards the center, so you create this just V gap. It's incredible.
Flying V.
Yeah, it's
Here we
incredible.
go.
We've seen it.
Quack, quack.
How good was that?
Oh my God! Every time.
When they started skating
Yep.
Oh my God.
and finding that formation.
Yeah.
Conway leading the break.
Oh my God.
Passing the puck.
Game,
between-
set, match.
Yeah.
God. The goalie's the shooter. What a good idea.
I know.
Genius.
Crazy that they could actually get his pads on during that timeout. Have him switch out of his gear into the goalie pads.
And then the other team not notice.
Exactly.
Because those, I mean, I don't know the hockey community well enough. It seems like they're a bunch of dipshits. So they couldn't tell that was not the,
right.
you know what I mean? In football, that would be like, hey,
Right.
brand new goalie there.
Got one.
I think we just got to dump one on net. We're
Yeah.
going to be good.
Hey, no.
Wait, that's the shooter.
Yeah.
Somebody would have been able to know.
Previous goalie was a white guy, and now he's black. What the hell's going on?
None of the parents in the crowd never said anything.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
That's crazy to look back on.